Okay, let's learn the notes on our neck. First thing we want to do is memorize the natural notes that fall on fret markers. The fret markers are the dots that are on our fretboard. On the E string, on the 3, 5, and 7, we have G, A, and B. On the A string, 3, 5, and 7 are C, D, and E. On the D string, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are F, G, A, and B. On the G string, 5, 7, and 9 are C, D, and E. So what you want to do is memorize these notes as they fall on the fret markers. We're not concerned with anything else at this point. We already know our open strings, or I hope you do, and these are going to give us some notes on our fretboard. If you play those notes in order, it'll fall like this: G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. This will be a great exercise to get these notes learned. Now, once you have these notes learned, we're going to learn another really important rule. I call it the E to F rule, which means anywhere you have an E note, a half step higher than that E is an F. Even with the open E string, a half step higher, first fret, is an F. The 9th fret of the G string is an E, a half step higher is an F. The 3rd fret of the D string is an F, a half step lower is an E. So you can see the E to F rule, how it lays out. E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F. Now let's look at the B to C rule. Anywhere we have a B note, a half step higher is a C. 9th fret of the D string is a B, half step higher is a C. The 5th fret of the G string is a C, half step lower is a B. The 3rd fret of the A string is a C, half step lower is a B. So you can see how the B to C rule lays out. B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C. Now, once you have all the natural notes memorized as they lay out on your frets, the E to F and the B to C rule, you will have a lot of notes on your fingerboard memorized. If we look at the open strings with what we've learned, you'll see that there are a lot of notes that you now have memorized. E, F, G, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, G, B, C, D, E, and F. That's a lot of notes, and it shouldn't take you that long to memorize it up to this point. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to find the sharp notes. There's an easy way to do this. Anywhere you have a natural note, a half step higher from that natural note will be that note sharp. If we look at the 5th fret of the A string is a D, half step higher is a D sharp. We look at the 5th fret of the G string, a C, half step higher, C sharp. So what do you do if you're trying to find this and you say find the B note? 7th fret of the E string is a B. If you go a half step higher, it's not a B sharp, it's a C natural. So that's where the B to C rule comes in. That's why we learned that first. But we know where C natural is, the 8th fret of our E string, so a half step higher than that C natural will be our C sharp. Alright, that's pretty easy. So now let's look at the flats. The flat rule is very similar to the sharp rule, except anywhere we have a natural note, a half step behind that note will be that note's flat. Let's look at the 5th fret of the E string. Is an A. Half step behind it is an A flat. The 9th fret of the G string is an E. Half step behind it, E flat. The same thing. Say we look at the 3rd fret of the D string is an F. Half step behind it is an E natural. So you wouldn't use that rule there. You would know because of the E to F rule that denotes a natural E. Take that natural E, half step behind it, be an E flat. So you see how this works. Very, very, very simple so far. And by now you should have every note memorized from your open strings way up to about your 11th fret on most of the strings. So now what we want to do is see another very simple trick. By now most people know that the open string and the 12th fret of that string are the same note. So a G, 12th fret of the G string is a G. The A string, 12th fret of the A string is an A. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to look at a carbon copy of our neck. So we have, let's look at the D string. Open is a D note. We have 2 frets and then our dots appear, our fret markers. Now those dots, as we've learned a little while back, are F, G, and A. If we come way up here on a D string, we find the 12th fret is a D. You'll notice we have 2 frets and then our fret markers start again. Now those fret markers down here are F, G, and A. Up here they are F, G, and A. You don't have to think of what number they are or what position. You have it memorized. Just remember that everything past the 12th fret is a carbon copy of what you've already learned. So if you know that the 2nd fret marker on your A string is a D, once you get past the 12th fret of your A string, the 2nd fret marker is a D. This is very simple. I've seen a lot of videos trying to show patterns and that they're all fine and dandy. This is the way to memorize your neck quickly. And you'll have confidence. You'll know where the notes are by looking at them. You won't have to reference a fret number or some kind of shape or pattern before you can find it. This is the way you do it. Good luck, have fun, memorize the notes.